The next speaker that I'm going to call on stage is a politician. He is also the head of the royal house of Tripura, but he's someone who wears many other hats as well. He's a social worker, he's a football fan, and we're also led to believe that he is a closet singer. There's only one way to find out. Can I please request on stage Bikram Burma, General Secretary of Tripura Congress and editor of the Northeast Today. Can we have a round of applause for him, please?
Hello everyone. It's quite a thing to come and speak after you've had actors, musicians, actors again, maybe some more musicians. To be a politician these days is not a very good thing. I don't think we are in a very good place, honestly speaking. But I'm coming from Northeast. I'm not from West Bengal. I'm from Tripura, and I'm an indigenous person from Tripura. I see Tripuri contingent there as well. And I'm the subject which I was told to speak about was how I plunged into politics. Let me first start by saying that, let me give you a brief description. A lot of people ask me, oh, I know so less about Northeast. They keep on asking me this question. Oh, we know so less about Northeast. They know so less about Bengal as well. I will not give you a long, lamba, chora bhashan like a politician gives. I'll try to make it brief. I come from Northeast. I grew up at Shillong, my initial years, as a student. Hence the reference to rock and roll, hence the reference to football. Yes, if I may say that I plunged into politics because I was not a good enough footballer. Maybe maybe I didn't play the guitar well enough. Maybe I couldn't do an Axl Rose good enough. There were various factors which got me into politics. The first, there are a lot of reasons why I say I'm from the Northeast, and we have to understand politics in Northeast is extremely different from politics in the rest of the country. The first time I got into politics, or I thought of entering politics, was when I was 18 years old. It was 25th of February, 1997. The police came knocking on my door at 1:30 at night. My mother was a former member of parliament. My father was a former member of parliament. But the police came knocking at my door at 1 o'clock in the morning. They had some information. The information was that there were terrorists in that house and they needed to search the place. Within 5 minutes, armed male police personnel took my sister away. Half an hour later, they came back and took me away. I was confused. I didn't know what was happening. But that day, I felt conscious of my identity. That day, I felt I was different because of the way we were being treated. I don't blame anyone for it. I blame the system for it. At 1:30, when you are locked up in a police station, you don't think you are the son of the last Maharaja of Tripura. You think, what the hell has happened? So, that was the first brush I had when I felt humiliated. I felt, why was this happening to me? Was it on the basis of my identity? Or was it on the basis of simple miscalculation by the police, which generally happens? But as an 18-year-old boy who had no idea what was happening, that left a big impression. Well, 2002, fast forward. I got into student politics. I became the general secretary of the regional political organizations. Chalo, let's do something. Shillong, if you all understand Shillong, is not only the rock and roll capital of Northeast. It's also the melting pot of all different groups which come and study there. There, you became more and more aware of how the entire region ran. as 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, we were all motivated. It's not very different from what happens in Kolkata, Delhi, Bombay, Telangana. We were all very motivated. What I didn't know was that this activism would take me to where I am today. You know, people say, oh, baap to politician tha, maa bhi politician thi, ye bhi ban gaya. Doesn't work like that. My father died in 2006, and that time I really wanted to be in business. And then when we take, in Tripura, we take the Kalash and we go village to village, that's when you see the disparity. And that's when reality hits you, and reality hits you bad. Then I realized, you know, Pradyot, you're living in a palace in Shillong with your dogs, with your music. You're an armchair politician who has a lot of opinion. Get out there and see what is happening. And that's when it hit me for the first time. This was my destiny. Politics doesn't happen by accident. If it does, then your intention is wrong. It happens by commitment. At least my sort of politics. Last 7 years, I've seen humiliation. I've seen success. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I know one thing. For my region, if anyone comes and tells me, you are second best, I am not going to take that. People say that is regionalism. I don't say that is regionalism. I say that's commitment to our region. To bring up your own region, your own state, your own people does not mean that you look down upon anybody else. Walk the talk. We should walk the talk. When I got into Youth Congress, you know, Shubir Babu is here. When I got into Youth Congress, I'm 34 years old. In Northeast, we don't look very old, you know. So now I'm in Senior Congress. I'm no longer in Youth Congress. When I got into Youth Congress, I came to Kolkata for the first time. My first assignment was in Kolkata. I met a man. He had no hair left in his head. He was walking in a danda like Ranveer had come, but that is for a different reason. He was 63 years old. He was Youth Congress. His grandson was my age. And he was supposed to be my contemporary. Now, I see there's an effective change. Not only in this party, in all parties. Youth are getting more active. You can't fool anyone anymore. People, I want to say one thing to you. If good people don't want to enter politics, we should stop complaining about bad people ruling us. Yes, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. It is very difficult, and especially someone from us, from East. I don't even say Northeast, I say from the East. It is very difficult. You know, I was fascinated when Ranveer was talking. That guy has such good delivery. You know, I didn't know how to speak Hindi. Our Hindi was so poor that when I first got into national level politics, Congress, couldn't speak a word of Hindi. You know, tuta puta Hindi. Then, what came to my help? I wish Ranveer was here. Hindi movies. Hindi movies came to my help. I said, chalo, let's watch movies, let's pick up my Hindi. First time I went to Delhi, I thought I spoke great Hindi. I said, bhaiyo behno, or brothers and sisters, you know, half English, half Hindi. And then somebody came, some Sharma ji came and spoke such good Hindi. I felt, oh, I have no idea what I'm getting into. So I started watching Hindi movies. You know, it's integration as well. And then Amitabh Bachchan. Now I was saying I was the one who watched Zanjeer. I started watching Amitabh Bachchan, started watching Dharmendra, started learning Hindi. It was an attempt from one person from Northeast who had no command over Hindi to learn. So you know what, actually mimicry is another, you know, if you are a failed politician, you may try your hand in politics. Or if you're a failed actor, you can become a good politician as well. It is true. So I started learning Hindi, and Amitabh Bachchan was my first influence how to speak Hindi. So he would go like, Khush to bahut hoge tum aaj. We learned Hindi like that. And then, हिंदी सीखने के बाद जो आपको एक्सेप्टेंस मिला दिल्ली में, जो भारत का राष्ट्र कैपिटल है, उससे मुझे दो चीज समझ में आया। एक, इस देश में आदमी बोलते हैं इक्वालिटी है, लेकिन इक्वालिटी भाषा के रूप में होता है, गलत बात है। और दूसरा, नॉर्थ ईस्ट में बैठकर आप पॉलिटिक्स बोलोगे, कलकत्ता में बैठकर इफ यू टॉक पॉलिटिक्स, nobody listens. Shake Delhi, Delhi itself listens to you. You know, often we have been accused of you are in politics for money, for power. Yes, today it is extremely difficult, and let me be very honest, to not be in politics and not make money. If I say that no, all of us are here for social commitment, but not all politicians are same. There are three sorts of politicians in the world. One who enters the room and says, there you are. Second, who enters and says, here I am. And the third, what we are trying to become. The next generation which thinks differently, which has a sense of commitment towards the country. Here you all are all doing tali, he's doing the drums. But how many of us will actually go out and actually vote on a day? Hardly any one of us. It's like, hey dude, today is election day, let's wake up easy, let's wake up late. Someone says, I don't know, I really don't like any of the candidates. The fact is, you know, we also as youngsters need to be more alert. I am not saying get involved in politics by going on Anshan or going on Narebazis, but yes, be alert. I got a lot of my general knowledge by just listening to my parents in the dining room, or actually reading Statesman when I was young, or there used to be a newspaper called Amrita Bazar Patrika in Kolkata. Right? I used to read that. And then I would go to, when I was young, I have a house in Calcutta, Tripura House, Baligan Circular Road. My father would take me to Park Street, and there used to be a Kusum chicken roll. I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, it's there. Double chicken, double egg roll. We used to eat, and we used to listen to all these people talking about what is the local political situation. That was the way we got our information. We would go and have puchka we still call it puchka, by the way. Golgappa is only in Delhi. So, and that was the way, you know, this gossip, this small talk, but we listened. Because decisions are not made. Decisions may be made in boardrooms and air-conditioned arenas like this, but reality and verdict is given by a person who's sitting in the streets, in the para. That happens in North Tripura, it happens in West Bengal. So coming back to politics, there are two, you know, this is a story which I would like to tell you. There was a delegation, you know, India is very different from the rest of the world. Today, a lot of our young generation ex-politicians like to say that, oh, we are one, technology has made us one. Yes, technology has made us one, but there is a lot of disparity within what you perceive India, what we as leaders perceive India within and outside. This is a true story. There was a farmers' delegation which came down from America. This was 3 years ago. And you know, this entire talk was in Delhi, like, you know, how to increase the output of India's national agricultural output and to ensure that there's no poverty and there's no drought. So this bunch of American farmers came down. They were in Delhi, and they were held up in this similar 5-star hotel like this. They had, every day they used to have a 2-hour deliberation. Bureaucrats would come and they would discuss, and then Neta would come and say, karna hai bhai, karna hai, all that. One of the American farmers felt suffocated. He was from Texas, a true southerner American. He felt suffocated. So one day, he quietly got out of the hotel, got into a taxi, and said, My friend, take me to the Indian rural side. A typical American. So the taxi driver said, chalo. So they went beyond Delhi, Haryana, Gurgaon, Brijwasan. They went that side. So there, this American farmer met an Indian farmer. So this American farmer stopped the car. He went up to this Indian farmer and said, my dear friend, how big is your farm? So this Indian farmer, Haryana ka tha, Jatwat tha, said, Sarji, you see that road that side? He said, yes. Sarji, you see that river this side? He said, yes. Everything in between is my land. So the American farmer said, my dear friend, I wake up at 5:30 every morning. I get into my tractor. By the time I'm on the east side of my farm, it's 8:30. So I have my grits, I have my bacon, my ham, my fried eggs. I have my breakfast. I get into my tractor again. And by the time I reach the northern end of my farm, it is 12:30. It's time for some coffee. It's time for some light meal, some sandwiches. I do that, speak to my workers. I get into my tractor again. And by the time I'm the western end of my farm, it is 4:30. So I speak to my farmers again. I have my cup of coffee. I say bye to them for the night. And by the time I'm back home in my tractor, it is 8:30 at night. So this Indian farmer looked at him and said, I know. I had a tractor like that once. The truth is, there's a serious message here. The truth is, they don't know our problem, we don't know ours. Because we haven't communicated enough. There are different solutions to different problems. Politics is the same. You cannot look at a politician without naming him from another part of India, claim and reality, say he is corrupt, and then label him to another person who is sitting somewhere far away in the east or somewhere in the north. The truth is, we have failed, but so has a lot of other systems. Do we give up democracy? Do we give up hope? I don't think so. I think the only way we can do it is if people like you join the stream, help us. Believe me, for Pradyot Bikram Manekya De Burma, which is a very long name, it helps if people like you get into the system. Because then you become my and I become your strength. Otherwise, you leave one young fellow dangling between a 75-year-old and a 55-year-old. And then you are bacha till you are 55, and then you become the youth leader. That is the truth. If you all want to change the country, you can do it in various facets. Yes? And who says you have to be boring to be a politician? I love singing. I still love singing. I mean, nobody knows. If I fail in everything which I do, football, I'm too old for football, I'll probably become a magician. You know, the royal family, Maharaja, anyway, Maharajas look like PC Sarkar these days. He dresses up like a king. Point is, who says a politician has to be boring? A politician can have various interests, various facets. Politics, policy is one of it. Today, our leaders are too serious. They don't smile. My mother says, when I first got into politics, and I'm sure if we get even 5 people from here who are interested in politics, we will go a long way. My mother said, when I first got into politics, I also went like all the other politicians, serious. You know, somebody would come, mil lenge. You know, secretary se baat karna. My visiting card. 5, 6 mobile phones. Then my mother said one day, which was actually humbling, said, Beta, why don't you smile? You have such a good smile. Why are you trying to act so intelligent? People will not like you if you're too intelligent. They like if you're nice, warm, and approachable. And that's the only message I have for my politicians. Finally, like Prasenjit said, rather than me talking to you, I would rather have you approach me here and even after this. Come and talk to me. We are available in Facebook. We are available in emails, mobile. Technology has also benefited us. And talk to us. I will learn something. I'm not here to teach. I'm also here to learn. The day you stop learning, you've already diminished yourself as a person. Have hobbies, have strengths, but most importantly, love your people. And love your people, and I don't aspire to be a national leader. I want to be a leader from Tripura, maybe from Northeast. I don't have national ambitions. You know why? Charity begins at home. I can at least show my people that yes, this is what I have done. This is what I've done, and this is what I intend to achieve. Have a big heart. The day you have a big heart, everything that you take, whether it is acting, whether it is politics, whether it is football, whether it is anything, industry, anything, you will be successful. The idea is to have an open mind and to have a big heart. Sometimes, there's a filmy dialogue, Dil hamesha left mein hota hai, lekin always right hota hai. And honestly, if your heart is in the right place, stick your neck out. Talk to the system. If the system doesn't listen, stick your neck out. If you don't stick your neck out right now, when will you? When it's too late, nobody listens. And believe me, this is your moment, this is your time. If we can work together, in the next 10 years, this country will be where it deserves to be. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Dalai Mahambai.
Pradyut, can I call you that? You have the insider's view. You work with the Youth Congress. You spoke about a number of problems that the Congress has. And most importantly, it's about how the calls are taken in Delhi. Do you think then the whole experiment when Rahul Gandhi, and you're quite close to him, when Rahul Gandhi said that he's going to change the Congress, the way elections are fought, those promises haven't really come true. That the experiment of changing the Congress has failed miserably, something that we also saw in the elections in the very recent past.
No, first of all, I was talking when I'm no longer in Youth Congress, for the record. I'm in the Senior Congress, though I'm eligible for Youth Congress even now. The fact is that the problem which I indicated to you is a problem which he also saw. At least he spoke about it. And yes, he did take a lot of initiatives and has taken a lot of initiatives to change the Youth Congress. Some which have been successful, some which haven't. But there was an attempt which nobody had done for the last 25 years. So this attempt was, let's say, I would say it has been successful, should be carried further. But yes, and immediately changing the entire order does not result in electoral victory. But what it does, and Delhi, this is when you say Delhi is too obsessed with power. We in Bengal, in Northeast, in South are more interested in organization. What he has done is he strengthened the organization. Power may come now, 5 years, 10 years. But if you have a strong organization...
But the orders are still coming from Delhi. They establish one figure in every region. And the power comes from there. The orders are over the phone line from Delhi to Guwahati, and that's how it goes.
I am not imposed from Delhi. Seriously. Believe me, when I say that, yes, there are a lot of things which have to be changed. But I am one product. I am not a product of Delhi. In fact, if you heard me speak, I've actually spoken in opposition to Delhi. So I am not, in fact, if anything, you try to go to change Delhi, Delhi changes you. I'd rather be in my state and do more for my people.
A final question, since we are completely out of time, but I have to ask you this. When there's so much debate going on about dynasty versus someone who's risen from the roots, do you think that ultimately India bows before dynasty? And that is what, if you're coming from a certain family, it's a given. I mean, you spoke about how, you have to learn politics. But let's face it, unless you're from a certain family, you won't even get a chance to get a ticket. But you have a famous last name, and your ticket is assured.
Do you want to give me a political answer or an honest answer?
Honest answer.
Huh?
Honest answer?
Abhi, you just asked Ranbir Kapoor and Ranbir Kapoor. Yeah, no. But
Ranbir Kapoor.
The Kapoor family, the Bachchan family, the Deol family. I mean, Why don't you ask the same question there? The fact is, this country, we have to admit at some point, does look up at individuals who have contributed something to a certain sphere. We have to admit it. Today, let's say if Sunil Gavaskar's son, Rohan Gavaskar, comes to Calcutta, we all say, oh, Gavaskar ka beta hai. So we have to admit. But then, when you have to actually go in front of the people, your merits matter. I know a lot of politicians whose parents were very, big names in the 60s, 70s, 80s. They are today like Laddu. They're like Laddu. Lalu Prasad Yadav, where is he today? Where is his son? Today, where is so many in Maharashtra? I can name you 10 leaders who were supposed to be the great Marathas. Today, you don't have the children in politics. So today, your entry may be easy, but your re-electability will always depend on how you work and how you're approached. And believe me, 80% of the people don't even know where I come from, who my father is, where Tripura is. But if I am approachable, if they are nice to me, we can share a meal, we can crack a joke, we can just discuss. Automatically this association builds up. So I think, yes, and if you take arrogance, you may be the son of the biggest person in the world. If you're arrogant, you will never go anywhere.
All right, it's very rare that you see an honest politician. We have one with us. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Youth Conclave, and we hope that after everything that you've heard, you will go out and vote in the next election. Can I please call on stage Mr. Ashish Bagga to give a small token of our appreciation. A huge round of applause